शङ्करांश भूम शङ्करार्यपीठसद्गुरुन् शुद्धसत्त्वभासुरान् सुवर्त्मनीतभूसुरान् सर्वभूतसौख्यदान् क्षमाकरान् यतीश्वरान्।
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमतां देशिकेन्द्राणां पादपद्मे नमाम्यहं। मन्दोऽपि वन्दनाद्येषां वृन्देत गुरुतुल्यताम्। श्रीगुरुचरणद्वन्द्वं वन्देऽहं मतितदुस्सहद्वन्द्वं क्रान्तिग्रहोपशान्तिं पांसुमयं यस्य भजितमातनुते. So now we are discussing the topic of pramana. But pramana is the means of knowledge. How and what pramana is being used or is suitable for knowing the Atman. So there is some kind of technical discussion on the technicalities of what pramana is and all that in these shlokas that we are seeing now. So we are in the 45th shloka now. We have to commence that. Nano vedaha atmabodhe pramanamastu pravartaka vakya abhavepi suto abodhi yatrapi jatakarmado pravartate tasmat pramanantara sapeksham asti anumanavat anumanasya pratyakshopajivakatvad iti ashankaya maha. So it was previously stated that there are two types of pramanas within the Veda itself. One is the Karmakanda Pramana and the other is the Jnanakanda Pramana. The Karmakanda Pramana will be enjoining a person to do something. It will be directly enjoining a person to engage in an action. Whereas in the Jnanakanda Pramana, that kind of enjoining will not be there. So that is the difference. So the question was asked whether, okay, if the Tattvamasi Vakya is there, so how will it impel a person to act? Because in the Tattvamasi Vakya, it's only a statement of fact that you are Brahman. So there, it doesn't impel a person to do something. So how do you say that this will be a pramana? For that, the answer given by the Siddhanta was, even in such cases where, for example, where there is no injunction directly there in the statement, like the king has arrived or your son has you have become a father and things like that. There is only a conveying of an information. That's all. But still, people who hear that sentence, if they find that it is relevant to them, they will engage in some action. So in the same way, in Tattvamasi also, even if there is no direct injunction like do this or don't do this, still the statement of fact that you are Brahman can impel a person to take up Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana and things like that. So that reply was given. So on that now a question is raised. Nano Vedaha Atmabodhe Pramanamastu. Okay, Veda, we will agree that it is Pramanam for Vakya, Pravartaka Vakya Abhaveti. Even though there is no direct instruction of do this or don't do this, still Veda can be a Praman, we agree to it. Like, for example, Suto Abhut, like you have become a father, a son is born to you. Jata Karmado Pravartate, a person who hears that will start doing some function, like some action, like getting ready for Jata Karma and things like that. Pravartate. Tasmat Pramanantara Sapeksham api astu Anumanavat. Okay, then what we say is, there is a need for some other pramana. Apart from this Veda Vakya, there is some other pramana needed to engage in this kind of Tattvamasi study and all that. So she is giving an example of Anumana. Anumana is inference. So in the case of inference, the basis for inference is the inference starts with the Pratyaksha Pramana only. That is, for example, in the classic case of there is fire in the mountain, Parvato Vanhiman, then the person decides or concludes that there is fire in the mountain, even if he is not contacting the fire with his eyes. He is contacting only the smoke. So the eyes are contacting the smoke. So pratyaksha pramana, smoke is there. From that he infers the unseen apratyaksha agni there in the mountain. So in the same way, here also, even though Tattvamasi is capable of impelling a person into an action, still there is some other pramana also that will be required. That's the question. For that the reply is, napekshate yat anyat yad apekshante akilani manani vakyam tan nigamanam manam brahmadi atindriya avagatau. So the essence of this sloka is, in the case of Brahman and in the case of atindriya vishaya, that is the one which is super sensuous, like for example the existence of varga and things like that, it is sufficient if the Vedas simply instructs or informs a person about it. There is no need for any other pramana beyond that. So this is what the reply is. Na apekshate yat anyat apekshante akilani manani. In the other cases, various other pramanas will be required. But here, that's not the case. Vakyam tan nigamanam manam brahma atindriya avagatau. So the Veda Vakya is sufficient to be a pramana by itself in its own right. It doesn't require any other pramana apart from it. Like for example, in the knowing of Brahma, etc. So Brahman is the Vedantic Brahman, and by the etc. we take the case of Swarga, etc. So that's the reply given. So in the commentary, the Acharya says, na apekshate iti. Na apekshate na akanshati yat shutyakhyam pramanam anyat pramanantaram tasyapi apeksha pramanantaranam nasti iti chet akilani manani sarva pramanani yad apekshante akangshanti tan nigamanam vakyam pramana bhutam brahmadi atindriya avagatau atmavagatau adishabdena swargavagatau cha manam atindriye brahmadi avagame vakyasadrisham pramanam nasti tyartaha. So there is no pramana equal to this Vedic passage. That is the Vedic sentence, Veda Vakya. Apart from that, there is no other pramana required for this. So na apekshate na akangshanti yat shrutyakyam pramanam. This Veda, the pramana that is Veda, doesn't need any other pramana to supplement it. That is the idea. For supplementing the Veda pramana, there is no need for any other pramana. Whereas in the case of Anumana, for example, Pratyaksha needs some other pramana, and in so many other places also we need subsidiary pramanas also to determine something or engage in something. But here in the case of Atindriya Vishaya, which is Brahman or Swarga, there is no need for any other pramana. The Veda Vakya by itself, in its own right, by itself it can be a pramana. That's what is conveyed here. Anyat pramanantaram tasyapi apeksha pramanantaranam nasti iti chet akilani pramanani sarva pramanani yad apekshante akangshanti. All other pramanas will require some other pramana along with it to for that pramana to work in the right manner. So tan nigamanam vakyam pramana bhutam brahmadi atindriya avagatau. So the Veda Vakya is the pramana for knowing the super sensuous things like Brahman or Swarga. Manam atindriya brahmadi avagame vakya sadrisham pramanam nasti tyartaha. So there is no other pramana equivalent to this Vakya, Veda Vakya, in the knowing of super sensuous things like Brahman or Swarga, Punya Papa and things like that. Dharma and all that. So moving on to the next sloka. Idanim pramanantara bodhaka bodhe tara apeksha nasti ityaha. So here, for one more aspect of this pramana itself is being discussed now. Pramanantara bodhaka bodhe. That is, in the case of knowledge where some other pramana is also required, manantara apeksha nasti ityaha. There is no other, no need for any other pramana. So that's being stated here. Manam prabodhayantam prabodhamanena ye bhuvutsante vedhobireva dahanam dagdum vanchanti te mahatmanaha. So if a person insists that there is a need for some other pramana apart from this one pramana, then what he is trying to do is he is trying to burn the fire itself with the help of fuel. So fire is there to burn the fuel, but here what you are suggesting is will amount to a person trying to burn the fire itself with the help of fuel. So that is the example given. So the example will be, analogy will be explained. Manam pramanam bodhayantam pramananamapi bodhakam bodham jnanam ye vandaha manena pramanena bubutsante. So here a very beautiful concept is being taught here. See, for any pramana to work, whether it is pratyaksha, anumana, rupamana, or even shabda, that is aptavakyam or vedavakyam, what is required is basically the consciousness that is the one which illumines the pramana, and the consciousness is the one which illumines that pramana, and the person who uses the pramana, and the activity of pramana, and also the ultimate knowing anything through the pramana. So, for example, in the case of the knowing of a outside object like a tree, you have to use the eye. So the eye is the only pramana to know the presence of a tree outside, because tree is something which has form and color and all that. So in order to know that, the eye is activated as a pramana. So to activate the eye as a pramana, the eye does not act by itself, because it is a jada entity. So that it requires a person to activate that pramana. So the person is called a jiva, who is called a pramatru, who is called a knower. So he has got the set of instruments at his command, like the body-mind complex. So in the body-mind complex, he has got, say, a variety of organs, sense organs, and out of that he will activate just one sense organ, that is the eye. So even for that, the jiva, who is himself a combination of consciousness and insentient body-mind complex, still that consciousness part will have to act now. So the consciousness part will illumine the pramatru, the pramanam, and the prameyam, and the pramiti. Pramiti is the knowledge that is ultimately received from the action of this, from this activity of the pramatru, pramana, prameya. So what is now being stated is, for any activity of knowing, the presence of the pure consciousness is a must. So the pure consciousness may not be actively doing anything, but in its presence alone, these things will function. So that is the idea. Like we can give the example of the need for the to activate any device that we have got. The devices may be many, and the devices may be designed to perform various unique functions, but still for them to do that, the power has to be connected. So in the same way, here, all the instruments like the knower's mind, the knower's instruments, and all that will require this power that is called the Atma. So that is the idea here conveyed. Manam pramanam bodhayantam pramananamapi bodhakam bodham jnanam ye mandaha manena pramanena bubutsante. So here the question is, how do we know that that consciousness? With what do we know that consciousness? So the consciousness is required for all this, but then with what do we know that consciousness? That is the question here. So for that, the answer being given is, there is no need for any other pramana to know that consciousness, because a person is self-conscious, so self-luminous. So that consciousness is there with himself. There's no need to know that consciousness by any other pramana, and it is not also possible to know it from any other pramana. So, ye mandaha manena pramanena bubutsante, those dull-witted persons who try to know this consciousness through some pramana, bodhitum ichanti, they agnaha, they are ignorant. Edho bireva, now the analogy part is being discussed now. Edho bireva, indhanireva, dahanam dagdhum vanchanti. Dahanam is burning. Edas is indhanam is fuel. So, edho bireva dahanam dagdhum vanchanti, dahakasya dashyena daham kurkartum ichanti. Dahaka is fire. So, they are trying to burn the fire itself with the help of the fuel. So, dahyena daham kartum ichanti, te purushaha, atishayena mahatmanaha te atyantam. So, in the shloka says that they are Mahatmas. So in a sarcastic way, it is calling them Mahatmas. So Atishayena Mahatmanaha te atyantam vignaha iti sopahasa vachanam. So he is being ridiculed. Such people are being ridiculed here. Sarva Prakashaka Suryasya, he is giving another analogy. The commentator is giving another analogy. Sarva Prakashaka Suryasya yatha anya prakasha abhavo prakasha apeksha nasti tadvate atmanopi bodharupasya bodhakantara apeksha nasti tyartaha. So this sun which is illuminating everything, that doesn't require any other illuminating agent. So the sun doesn't require any other illuminating agent. So tata yatha anya prakasha apeksha nasti tatvate atmanopi bodharupasya. Atman itself is bodharupam. Atman itself is in the form of consciousness. For that, bodhakantara apeksha nasti tyartaha. There is no need for any other pramana to know this. So that is the reply given. So now the next question is, nano vedasya utpattimatve anadi brahma bodhakatvam katamityakankshaya maha. So here the good question is being raised. You have said that Veda is the pramana to know Atman. But now we have got a problem here. Atman is eternal. We don't have any second opinion about it at all. But then the Veda, that is the pramana to know the Atman, that Veda is not nitya like Brahman. It is something which is brought into creation. So it has got a beginning, or it has got an origin. So how can this Veda, which has an origin, be capable of revealing to a person the Atman or Brahman, which is eternal? That is the question here. For that, the reply is, Vedo anadihi amushya vyanjakaha ishaha swayam prakashatma tad abhivyakti udikshya prokto asau suribihi pramanamiti. So he is now giving a statement here, making a statement here. Vedaha anadihi. So Veda is anadi. Amushya vyanjakaha ishaha swayam prakashatma. So now we have to know what the Vedanta says about Veda. So we have got Brahman, which is eternal, it is unchangingly eternal, and we have got the Veda, which is coming to creation, which is manifesting into creation in every creation. So these two are given two distinct adjectives in Shankara Vedanta. Brahman is Kutastha Nityam and Veda is Parinami Nityam. So Veda has got, Veda is also eternal. We don't say that Veda is, Veda gets an origin and things like that. Veda is manufactured or it comes into being and all that. No, we don't say that. What Vedanta says is, on the basis of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself, that at the beginning of every creation, Ishvara, who creates this world, who brings forth all the Panchabhutas and Panchabhautika Prapancha, along with that, he also brings forth the Veda, which was there in the previous kalpa. So, in the previous creation, Veda has existed. And when the dissolution takes place, everything is withdrawn into Brahman or Ishvara. And Veda also goes into that pralaya state and it comes out. So, the Ishvara is the one who brings it out. So, for that, the Upanishad says that yasya nishvasitam yetate rigvedo yajurvedaha. So, it gives the analogy of a person without any effort breathing out. So for breathing out unconsciously, without any conscious effort to breathe out, we do that. So in the same way, Ishvara brings forth the Vedas, just like a person would, with ease, lot of ease, bring forth, breathes out. So in the same way, the Vedas have come out. In the sense, they become manifest in the at the beginning of every creation. So in the Gita also, we have got third chapter, Sahayagna Praja Srištva Purovacha Prajapatihi Anena Prasavishyadvam Eshavostu Ishtakamdute. So Prajapati, the creator, when he created the whole universe, along with the residents of the universe, he gave them the Veda and told them that you use this Veda to fulfill all your desires. So desires will be of four types: Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. All that can be accomplished with the Veda. So that is the idea. So here what the Vedanta says about this is, at the beginning of every creation, the Veda is also brought out. So Veda is Nitya. We don't have any second opinion about this at all. Veda is definitely Nitya. And it is Anadi also. See, Brahman is also Anadi, Brahman is also Nitya. Veda is also Anadi, Veda is also Nitya. The difference between these two is Veda is Nitya in the sense that it comes into creation and goes back into, it lapses back into dissolution every cycle, whereas Brahman, that doesn't happen to Brahman. So Brahman, that's why the terms used are, for Veda it is called Parinami Nityatvam, that is, it is by transformation, in the sense of transformation, in the sense of going in and coming out. That is all. That transformation is not like a child being born and grows and then grows into old age and then it dies. That kind of transformation is not accepted for the Veda. It is only simply coming out and going in. And also the Vedanta holds that since Veda is apaurushaya, it is unauthored by anybody. Nobody, even Ishvara, has the right to make any change in the Veda. So that is the way Astikas look at it. So in the commentary, the Acharya says, Vedaha anadihi adirahitam. Anadi means it doesn't have a adirahitam, it doesn't have a beginning or a starting point or a date of manufacture. Utpatirahitam amushya vedasya ishaha vyanjakaha. So Ishvara is the prakashakaha. He, in the sense, he is the one who illumines the Veda, or he reveals the Veda at the beginning of the every creation. Yatha Svatasiddhasya Gatadehe Vyanjakam Chakshuhu Tadvate. So he's giving an analogy. Just like a pot which is in front of you is revealed to you through the eye, through the instrument called the organ called the eye, Chakshus. So in the same way, the Veda is already there. It is only being revealed by the power of Ishvara. Gatadehe Vyanjakam Chakshuhu Tadvate. Nano, so now a question is raised. Nano Ishwarasyapi Yatha Tatha Paraprakashatvam Syad Ataha. So now the question is, okay, Veda requires some other agent than itself to reveal it. So in the same way, why can't we say that Ishvara also requires some other agent to reveal Ishvara? That's the question. Ishvarastu Swayam Swarupena Prakashatma Prakasha Swarupaha Eva Natu Prakashyaha. So the Acharya is giving a clarification. Ishvara is Suprakasha. Ishvara is self-luminous. He doesn't require any other agent to reveal him. So Ishvara is Swayam Prakasha. He reveals everything, whereas he doesn't require any other entity other than himself to reveal him or to illumine. So here also we have to be careful. We are using the term, the gender him, but then that need not be there. We can simply say that Brahman is the one which reveals everything, and Brahman doesn't require any other agent. Tadadvyaktim uddishya Ishwarabhivyaktim prakatatvam utprekshya jnatva suribhihi purvacharai charyaihi asau vedaha pramanamiti proktam kachitam. So by seeing or by knowing that the Veda is brought forth at the beginning of every creation, and from how do we know that? We know that from the Veda itself. So as I said, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that at the beginning of every creation, the 4 Vedas are brought out by with the analogy of a person with all ease breathing out. So from that we come to know that Vedas are brought out, and then by seeing that, Vedas are given an epithet as Pramana. So Vedas are called Pramana by the knowers who have known the method of this creation and how these things work, with the scheme of its working and all that. They give the epithet Pramanam to Veda. So that's the reply given. So even the epithet Pramanam to Veda is accorded by other people. The Veda itself doesn't proclaim that it is Pramanam. Of course, the Veda has got a lot of statements like Veda is the Pramanam. For example, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Tam tu Aupanishadam Purusham Prachami. So that the question, I am asking you to reveal me the person. It is not the biological person. It is not the psychological person. We can talk of so many other type persons also, according to various sciences. But then that question asks, I am asking you to reveal me the person who can be known only through the Upanishad. So, tam tu Upanishadam Purusham Prichami. So, there the Upanishad itself declares that it is a pramana, it is the only pramana to know this Upanishad Purusha, which is Brahman, which is Atman. Okay, so now the next shloka, Idanim Drishtanta Pradarsanena Atmavabodham Prati Vedasyaiva Pramanyam na Anyasya iti sadhayati. So now by giving an analogy, what is being established is that Veda alone can be a pramana for knowing the Atman, and no other pramana can do this work. Rupanam avaloke chakshuhu iva anyat na karanam drishtam tadvat adrishtavagatau vedavat anyaha na vedako hetuhu. So Rupanam avaloke. Rupanam is in the process of perceiving something, cognizing something, and here the example is taken up as the example of the formed object is being taken up. So Rupa in Sanskrit will mean two things. It can mean color also. It can mean form also. So Rupanam avaloke, for both revealing color and form, they require the instrumentality of the eye only, organ eye. Chakshuhu iva anyat na karanam drishtam. So just like in the world, we know that in the revealing the form and color, the organ eye alone is the pramanam and nothing else. In the same way, tadvat adrishtavagatau. Adrishta is something which is supersensuous. In those matters, vedavat anyaha na vedakaha hetuhu. Just like apart from Veda, there is no other no other revealing agent apart from the Veda in respect of the supersensuous entities. So here is the commentary. Rupanam Nila Pitadinam Avaloke Darshane Chakshuriva Netrendriyamiva Anyat na Karanam Anyat Indriyam na Karanam Drishtam. So Rupanam, further the explanation is Nila Pitadina. Nila is blue or black. Pita is yellow. Adipadena, you can take all other colors, and we can take the forms also, like Vartulam and things like that. Nila Pitadinam Avaloke, in the process of perceiving or knowing the colors, Chakshuriva, just like apart from the eye, there is no other organ which is employed in this process. Chakshuriva na netrendriyamiva anyate na karanam. No other healer or the pramanam is required here. And it's a known fact for everyone. In the same way, anyat karanam nasti tata tadvate chakshurindriyavate adrishta avagatau. So in the same way, in the Dashtantika, in the knowing of adrishta is something which is supersensuous. Ananubhuta atma avagatau. So in the case of the Atma, Sargadava, Vedavat, Veda Sadrsho, Anyaha, Vedakaha, Hetuhu, Bodha Hetuhu, Nasti Natishtati. So here also, one word here might raise a question. Ananubhuta Atma Vagatau. So here, the Atma, which is not experienced in that sphere, or in the knowing of the Atman, which is not experienced by us, Veda alone is the pramana. So when now the word ananubhutam, the one which is not experienced, might bring a question. So here what is meant is, or implied is, all of us are experiencing Atman, no doubt about it. But then we require the Veda pramana, we require the intervention of the Veda along with the Acharya to reveal to us, to enable us to perceive or directly experience that Atman, which is free from the admixture of the Anatman. So only in that respect we require the Veda as the Pramana. Bhagavat has made it very clear in the beginning of the Brahma Sutra Bhashya itself that everyone knows himself as a sentient. Nobody says that, and also knows himself as to be existent. Nobody says that he doesn't exist. So, but despite this, the Veda has to come to inform him that his true nature, only because the person who says that I am existing, or who takes for granted that he is existing and he is a sentient entity, he doesn't know that he has taken, or he has appropriated or taken up the other things like non-Atman, like the body-mind complex, as himself. So this Brahma, this Adhyasa alone is being set right, or this Adhyasa is cleared by the Veda. So only for that the Veda is required. Bhagavad makes it very clear. So Ananubhota Atma Avata, see, that's the beauty of Bhagavad Bhashyam. He at the beginning of the Sutra Bhashya itself, he makes it very clear to the aspirant that this study of this Brahma Sutra or Vedanta, Brahma Sutra is the representation of Vedanta, is not about any deity or something like that, or any other deity living somewhere. No, he doesn't make that way at all. At the very beginning, he makes it very clear that it is about you. It is about your true nature. So for that only, you have to take up the study of Vedanta. Session here, we have finished the 48th sloka. Shri Guru Charana Dvandvam Bandeham Matita Dussaha Dvandvam Bhrantigrahopashantim Pam Sumayam Yasya Bhasitam Atante Shastram Sharirami Mamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janma Janmani Vidya Vinay Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Bande Vedanta Tatvajnam Vidushekara Bharati Om Tatsate.